We'll go ahead and call our purchasing meeting into session. This is the August 19th, 2020 Purchasing Committee meeting. Welcome all bidders and members of the Purchasing Committee. Madam Secretary, if you would please call the roll.
Commissioner Cook? Yes. Commissioner Gammon?
Here.
Commissioner Gooch?
Here.
Commissioner McAdoo?
Here.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Jernigan? Chairman Ketron?
Here. We have a quorum. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the July 21st, 2020 meeting. I have a motion from Commissioner Johnson. Is there a second? Second from Commissioner Gammon. Any discussions, additions, or deletions? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed. Motion carries. Next we have on new bids, we have uniforms. This is for EMS. I believe we have 4 bids to start off with. First bid, Madam Secretary.
This is from Ted's Sporting Goods.
Ted's Sporting Goods in Columbia, Tennessee. I don't know if their sign is still upside down, but it used to be. Anybody from Ted's here?
Or EMS?
Okay.
Sorry to be so late.
Keith, it looks like we have a large number of items to be bid, but I'll turn to the back page. Right. Okay, so we'll start at the top on this one. This is a Ted's Sporting Goods. We have a Class A long sleeve shirt, $26.90. We have a Class A short sleeve shirt, $24.50. No bid on a job shirt, no bid on the event polo. Proper ice polo, $31.50 for an SS and $34.50 for a LS. I would assume, Keith, that's a large and a small?
Yes, sir. The LS is long sleeve and the...
long sleeve, short sleeve.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, I should have figured that. No quote on the gray striped pant. The proper pant, $34.90. No bid on a striker pant. Leather belt, $15.80. The Thorogood in SWAT or Thorogood 8 in boot, $90. I'm just going to read on down to the other quotes. Aqua fleece jacket, AKWA fleece jacket, $39.50. Navy short sleeve t-shirt, $7.50. Navy long sleeve t-shirt, $9.50. And last is the Augusta Navy t-shirt, $9.50.
Yes, sir.
Any other bids, Keith, did you see? From them? From Ted's? Anything else from Ted's?
No, sir.
CMS.
Thank you. Next bid is CMS, which is
About 5 pages from the rear.
I was trying to get a name and address of CMS. You got it? This is CMS Uniforms and Equipment, Murfreesboro Pike, Nashville, Tennessee. Well, they've quoted everything. What's the will of the committee? You want me to read each one of those? They've quoted everything. There's 26 prices. Or would you prefer that we just open the bid, give it to Keith and let them go back, take it under advisement and come back to us? Okay. I have a motion and a second that we just open, notify, and give notice of who turned in bids. We'll take it under, EMS will take it under advisement and report back to us at the next meeting. Okay, got that.
This is from Doral.
This is from Durrell Specialties Incorporated. They are Antioch, Tennessee. And I think they've quoted every item, well, just about every item. Shirts, golf shirts. Looks like they complied with everything. This is the last one.
Yes, this is the last one, and it is from Summit Uniforms.
This is from Summit Uniforms, Foster Avenue, Nashville, Tennessee. And it looks like they are in compliance with all their certificates, insurance, etc. Okay. That's the originals. Okay, we'll taking those under advisement for EMS. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, sir.
Got all four? You have all four to compare? Thank you, sir. Next, Rob, we have paving, striping, historic courthouse, and maintenance department. Our first bid, we have
It's our only bid.
only bid. This is from Jarrett Paving. Jarrett Paving is out of Nashville, Tennessee. This is to overlay paving not to exceed 3,400 square yards to include the area around the courthouse, restripe and mark all existing no parking areas with thermoplastic striping. Restripe and mark all existing parking areas with 5-inch numbers with thermoplastic striping, and restripe and mark all crosswalks, handicap spaces with thermoplastic. Rob, do you see their quote? Where is it?
Only thing I'm looking for is the handicap.
We've got the taxpayer ID and certification, Title 6, non-discrimination. I'm looking for a quote.
Is that on the first page, is that what?
Ah, there it is. Stuck right next to the picture. Total cost for work described is $56,550. That will come, has already been approved by the full commission. That was part of the grant, the governor's enhancement grant. That was one of the items identified. So this is the only bid that we received. So Chair will entertain a motion to award the bid. $56,550. I'm surprised because we had two other folks provide quotes, but they didn't turn a bid in. But they were high.
We ended up with 4 quotes originally, but apparently Jarrett's the only one that's bid.
Yeah, because we did have a quote for 36, wasn't it?
Or what?
One a bid, I mean a quote for about 46,000. Okay.
Matching, do we have matching
No, the grants are to the discretion. That grant is to the discretion of the commission to spend it on whatever we wanted to. It's a stimulus type grant that the state has given to every city and every county.
The original quotes we got here, sorry, not to interrupt, did not include the thermoplastic striping.
I got you. So the thermoplastic striping, it would increase that probably $20,000 would make it that.
It's very expensive.
Okay.
It's definitely in the ballpark, yes.
The one quote that we received, Rob, it was just painting the stripe, or just paving, no painting the stripes.
Yeah, they quoted just the paving.
Just the
and
paving
milling.
was around 36,000, so we figure another 20 for the thermoplastic, because I think they have to lay that down with heat, some type
They
of.
have to bring a special truck in,
Yeah.
heat it up, molten, they apply it molten, and it can last twice as long as regular
Okay.
painted stripes.
Is there a motion to award the bid? Have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the roof for the sheriff's department. Okay, this. This is Tim Leeper Roofing. I think I've heard of them on the radio.
Yes, it is Garland. I think Garland's the contractor and the installer is Tim Leeper.
Okay.
I think that's correct, Mary, that the contractor is Garland, but the installer is Tim Leeper.
Gotcha. Okay, so Laura informs me that the Garland Company is the contractor, right?
Yes, sir.
And the installer would be Tim Leeper. This looks like a liquid Garland Solutions. This is a liquid application. Do you see the quote?
Yes, sir, it's on the second page. Right here.
Okay, their quote is $343,441. Garland is the, like I said, is the bidder, and out of Cleveland, Ohio, and they will be using Tim Leeper Roofing. Okay.
Second one is Roofing Solutions.
Okay, the second bid is from Roofing Solutions, Tony Todd, members on Public Works. I believe he gave a presentation, came down and did a video. He uses Aztec Reply, multi-layer. It's a liquid application as well. And his total bid is $216,285.87. I believe this is the same company that's getting ready to start on this building here this month. Okay. Your recommendation?
I know Garland.
I'm sorry?
I know Tim Leeper.
You know Tim Leeper?
Well, I know that they do state work.
Uh-huh.
I don't know this guy, and as far as I know, he's not even gotten the things y'all need to start this roof here. This company knows our roof. I don't think he's given us what Garland's given us.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got the 15-year warranty. I just feel like there's something big difference here. And what I'm getting from somebody that works for the state, they did Williamson County's jail, and I've not seen this guy's work at all.
Well, I have. I've been on this roof with him when he came over, this gentleman. I got a call and recommendation from Senator Mark Pody, who he did his personal building over in Lebanon. And of course, those on property management saw the work. I'm sorry. Oh, sure. The work that they had done. I think they did the Coca-Cola plant in Wilson County. And they had also done the Naval Air Museum in Pensacola, Florida. And I would assume that if this Aztec met the specifications of the federal government to do a job like that on a military base, I'm sure they're, with the sun and the salt, I would say they'd have to stand behind whatever work they do. So what are we looking at, a difference of 100 grand? Yes.
Does it say anywhere when he can start? Because I asked them for that. I mean,
No. Well, you want to take it under advisement and we'll call them tomorrow?
I'm back next week because I need that. We
Okay.
have major issues right now,
Sure.
and I need to start.
Okay. Okay, got a motion to take it under advisement? And a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
What
Okay.
was the warranty on the, or did they, Roofing Solutions give a warranty?
15 and 10. Yeah. Next, we have the leachate transport and disposal for solid waste. We mailed 5 invitations and received 2 sealed bids. Mac, you're up. First,
On-site?
first quote is from On-Site Environmental. The proposed pricing for the transportation and disposal of leachate for Rutherford County landfill is 12 cents per gallon. Where do they take that?
I think it's Nashville.
Take it to Nashville? Well, that's a good place to take it. Take it to our county.
They're our current contractor.
All right.
And this one is from Clean Harbors.
Okay, the second one is Clean Harbors Environmental Services out of Greenbrier, Tennessee.
If they get it, they'll go to Chattanooga with it.
If they, Mac says if they get it, they'll take it to Chattanooga. That's even better. Transport it over the rock. Be better if they just took it on to Georgia. Okay, leachate landfill is, their quote is 28.5 cents per gallon. So I guess at some point those half cents add to 1, right? Next quote.
That's it.
Got 2 quotes. Recommendation, Mr. Director.
I recommend we stay with On-Site Environmental. They've been our contractor for several years, and they actually stuck with the same price they've started with.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed. Motion carries.
Nothing for that.
Next, we have the proactive maintenance solid waste.
We got 0.
0 bids.
Guess it's time for us to build our own fleet management facility.
So is that nobody wants to bid on the maintenance of the trucks?
We talked to a lot of different vendors. We put garbage trucks out for bids, and I think we had 7 different bidders, and each of those expressed an interest, one of which called Monday, really wanted to bid. He said that it's just, they can't do it. They're shorthanded enough right now that with the current work they have, they just wouldn't be able to pull it off, and it wouldn't be fair to their current customers or us, so I appreciate that.
Well, that makes sense. Everybody's struggling for
Right,
people
and
because everybody's sitting at home.
The other vendors have not expressed anything except our current vendor is Mac of Nashville, and their bid is sitting over at Murfreesboro City Hall. They turned it in over there today. We found that out after 4 o'clock.
And that's our current, well, that's our current contractor?
We really don't have a choice, because a lot of that, we've got a truck that's at Mac of Nashville right now is going to have an engine rebuild. We've got a mechanic that's capable of doing it, but we don't have the facility to do that in. The downside of rebidding it is this is the second time we bid that. First time we had no bidders whatsoever. Now we technically still don't have one, so they can bid whatever they want to. They know there's not going to have any competition. That's the downside.
Well, members, I'd recommend we rebid it since Mac has one.
Current contract we're under expires next week. No, September 1. Okay. So we'll do without a contract for a little while.
Okay.
Mr. Nolan, did you say one of your comments, I didn't quite hear it, or maybe I heard it wrong, that it may be time for us to do our own maintenance?
Build our own fleet maintenance facility. I don't know if y'all been over to see where we work, but we don't have a facility. We have a concrete slab that we work on. And we've got a building that we can get some of the vehicles in, but not all of them.
But this is just preventive maintenance.
What this would be the PM work. It's called a 150-hour service, which on that is they check everything on the truck and grease everything. So it's basically a DOT inspection and grease job. And then at 300 hours, they grease everything, DOT inspection, and change the filters and fluids. And then also included in that is a shop rate, what they would charge us per hour to work on our trucks for mechanical stuff. When we started this 10 years ago, it was a one-year agreement with 4 one-year extensions. Mack and Nashville got it, and their price was $49.50 an hour for the shop rate. After we went through the 5 years, put it out for bid again, they were the only bidder, and they actually went down $1.48. Right now we're at $48.50. We looked at buying Peterbilt's 2 years ago when we were doing roll-off trucks. The cheapest shop rate we could get from them was $155 an hour. So the main reason we bought Mack and Nashville trucks is because the shop rate's 3 times less. You know, so that's a lot of the reason the others aren't really bidding on it, because they can't compete with that price.
So we can still use them until we rebid, or did their contract run out? Or
well, the contract will be out by the end of September, so we may wind up paying their shop rate, which is $125, $130 an hour. And we've had some really big bills come through. You know, we've sent some purchase orders in. That's at that cheap rate. So you could take that labor rate and multiply it by 3 and see what our bills would have been. So we're getting ready to pay a whole lot more in maintenance.
Well, let's go ahead and get it bid out again in the morning, Laura, if we can get that advertised again.
Yes, sir, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll be prepared to come back with, hopefully there'll be a...
And Laura, could you be a little bit more specific on where they drop off the bids? Because I'm sure it was your fault. Okay.
That is correct. Now, we've got a lot of RFI going on, soon to be an RFP, and the mayor, I agree with what he's saying. It's not what I wanted, but I agree. We bought it because it had a railroad in case we needed it. Well, with some of these companies coming in, that may be the property they need to be on. You know, so, that's correct. And then the city and the county solid waste departments work really well together. So if we each have a fueling location and something happens there, I'm sure there's not going to be a problem getting fuel. And then the other thing is they run Mack trucks too. So if they've got the part we need across the street, I'm sure we can go over there and get it, order another one, and put it back on their shelf. There's a lot of positives to being close. But even if we weren't next door neighbors, we could probably pull that off.
All right, well,
Motion for anything for that?
On that one? We don't have any bids, so there's no
no, there'll be no bids. We'll just, we'll instruct Laura to go ahead and put that out to bid. We'll get it advertised and put it out to bid, and we'll kind of float for the next 30 days until, hope nothing happens major. And we'll get another bid in here by our next purchasing meeting. Yeah, okay. All right, next we have...
No, sir. The person that purchased the home has taken the brick off of it and trying to get ready, and he's had a lot of health issues. So that home is still sitting there. It's not hurting anything. You know, we've got decisions to make. So it's... Ben Lincoln's bunch keeps it mowed or bush hogged or whatever. Yeah. So, and they've actually put up some fencing to keep people out of it. So.
Yeah, he had a heart attack this past year, if you know who owned it, and who purchased it at the auction from us, and he had a heart attack. He's just been having a hard time, especially and then COVID hit. He was prepared to get somebody to come do it and get that thing moved out of there for us. And
Steve Sandlin caused a heart attack. He made him bid more than he wanted to.
Yeah, not, yeah, I think so. Maybe it's what caused a heart attack, right? Why are we gonna do that house? Okay.
The next item is Leanna Construction, one bid.
Okay, next we have the
And it's JGC Construction.
JGC Construction for the Leanna Convenience Center. We've been waiting to do something out there for quite some time. It looks like, where's JGC from?
They're the ones that's doing archives.
They are Betsy, something Kentucky. What does that say, Mac? Betsy Lane, Lanye. Betsy Lane, Kentucky. Their quote, demolition, strip and fill, electric, pulling everything, privacy fence, asphalt, drainage and piping, $876,700. No. 876,700. I'm not sure we have that in the budget.
No. We didn't actually have a number in the budget, but that's almost twice what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
We've got actually 200,000 in there to get started, and then as we needed to do stuff, keep asking for more money. But
Sure. Yeah, that's much more than what I had anticipated. We wanted to actually do that, and use Leanna as our pilot to see how we wanted to establish the other convenience centers across the county. But that's way above what I had thought. We may be wise to take this under advisement, and since we're getting ready probably tonight, finish up the RFI and generate RFPs. Will be going out, and we should have RFPs by October, I would think, and then we'll try to decide what direction. We may have somebody who wants to come in and take those over. I don't know.
top of my head is included in the RFP. Here's our plan.
Sure.
What would you build this center for?
Sure, so we could get Public Works to put that in the RFP to go in and do these. They may have their own equipment, can do it much cheaper than that if we can work out a deal of, making all the convenience centers nicer. Virgil, I'm sorry, Commissioner Gammon. Okay.
I'm just going to say, and I've talked to Mac, you kind of judge how things are by the number of calls you get, and I've gotten more calls on this than anything. And explained to them, that wasn't any bids last time, but a lot of the people are older, residential in the community, and I said, look, I dump in the same place. I understand your pain, but some days out there, I know Mac knows this, you can be buried 20 cars deep out there easy. And a lot of people just don't have time for that. I mean,
Yeah, I totally understand. All of our convenience centers are getting the same way. It's Walter Hill, Almaville. They're backed up in both directions. So I think that maybe if we do put this in the RFP and over the next 60 to 90 days, we get something back and we put what we want in these companies to quote on, maybe we can come in and do a reevaluation of all of our, because I get a call from a guy I went to Metro Nielsen with, and he goes, is that fire building out there, the reason they're not tearing it down, they stopped tearing it down, it's got asbestos in it? And I said, no, sir, it doesn't have any asbestos in it. Well, that's what everybody out here in Leanna says, it's got asbestos in it. And I said, no, sir, it doesn't.
Tested, it does not.
And it does not. It's just that we stopped tearing it down. Okay.
if it was asbestos, the fireman found it.
That's correct. What would be the will of the committee? Yeah, Mac?
Still got Rockville on the table that we were planning on doing after we finished Leanna. So keep that in the back of your mind. If we're going to do one, we may want to, we've got a conceptual drawing for that as far as we went. So we can get Triad to go ahead and do the full-fledged drawing to where they can bid on that as well.
Sure. Well, they might want to do 2 instead of 1. It might be more advantageous for them to, yeah, do all that.
Other thing on this, you know, we didn't get, TDEC took away all the grants. We're not getting any grants next year at all. But in Leanna, was still going to be an automotive fluid collection. We were going to do one on our own, which is a whole lot larger than what TDEC had in mind. But the way we had it planned, it'd be something that they could look at and actually structure theirs after what we wound up with. So that's going to be some of the cost in this.
Well, let's make sure within the hour we'll be talking about that with Public Works Subcommittee. We'll be talking about that, and we'll mention it and make sure that when we conclude the RFI that we put that language in the RFP. Without objection, we'll take that under advisement and wait and work through the Public Works Committee. Okay. All right. Thank you, Matt. Is there a motion to take that under advisement? Have a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Gammon. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Other bids. We have the last one on drug testing for probation and recovery court. Ladies, you're welcome. Trish and Alyssa, our new directors for one of our recovery courts and one of our probation. Okay. Intrinsic Interventions Inc. This is drug screening services for the probation and recovery services and recovery courts of Rutherford County. This company is out of Bonita Springs, Florida. Well, this is like bids on prescriptions, 6 pages of costs for every 25 tests per box, and there's 5 pages of cost bid upon. Ladies, well, how many bids do we have?
We have 4 bids.
We have 4 bids. All right. Notify the.
This next one is Park Point Labs.
Ladies, I'm going to recommend that we do the same that we've done on some of the other ones, just like on numerous things to bid on. Let you all take these under advisements, go through and just plot out your matrix on who has the best and come back to us. That doesn't mean that you well, are you aware, will any of the companies piecemeal, or is it all or nothing? It's piecemeal, so you might find, because we do that sometimes on our equipment, sometimes somebody has cheaper sweaters or cheaper boots, and you may come back with that. The second one is ARC Point, ARCPOINT Labs. They are, this is Ward Drive, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's great. That's somebody local. Okay, our third bidder. Third bidder is Abbott. Let's see. Redwood Toxicology Laboratory, Santa Rosa, California. It appears that everything's in order. Okay.
And Vivo?
This is our last one.
That's the last one, yes, sir.
This is our last bid on the drug screening services from Envivo, ENVIVO. They are out of Russell Springs, Kentucky. Appears everything's in order here as well. Okay. Ladies, comments?
I'd like to take them all under advisement, please.
Okay, recommendation from our directors are to take it under advisement. Motion to accept the bids and they be taken under advisement. Second, Commissioner Johnson. That was a motion by Commissioner Gooch. Any discussion, questions? Seeing none, all of those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, motion carries. Thank you, ladies. Y'all have a wonderful day. Okay. Anything else come forward?
That's all the bids.
Do we have our next meeting?
Our next meeting is next Wednesday.
Next.
Next Wednesday.
All right, members, our next meeting is next Wednesday. Got that? Next Wednesday for our purchasing meeting. Okay, anything else to come before the committee?
We have the, you want to do this? We have any other business, it's the, to buy the UV lamps.
Oh, excuse me. Laura just pointed out we need to take this up under any other business. Mr. Bernard Pike over at our EMA submitted this to us. This is a quote for $34,079.72. Do they have copies of those?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
all that.
You should have a copy of that in front of you. These were actually, we ordered 8 of these UV lights. They came out of the UK. We ordered them back when COVID first hit back in March. We didn't get them till last month. It took that long. I don't know, with COVID and manufacturing, et cetera, it took that long. Now, with the CARE Act for which the CARE Act has given money to the county and the city, and it's different than our government stimulus grant, okay? This grant is for COVID-related issues only, and we have to have purchased and in hand by November 1st. That's what we were talking about the other night because it's such a time limit. I'm not sure of anybody else who makes these or time to put it out to bid. Laura was able to look under the Emergency Powers Act that we have that allows us to, let me see that. This is under our purchasing policies and procedures. It says emergency purchases are able to be made by the county mayor without the approval of the purchasing committee and are not subject to the solicitation of competitive bidding if deemed appropriate. What I'm asking here today is for your approval, where it says I can do it without the approval. I want your approval. But just to bypass the competitive bidding so we can get those in a timely manner and give Chris Clark and Bernard the authority to go ahead and get these placed, because I don't know how long it's going to take. We need to get them ordered now if it takes that long to get them in. Yes, sir. And 10, yes, sir. What they're doing, they actually, we've gone in to Teb's office. They've come into the mayor's office here. When we get, there's a lot of traffic in those two offices. Other offices in the county, they can take it in. It takes 25 minutes. They plug it in. It's got a little beep on it. Leave it for 25 minutes, and you can walk back in. But it totally decontaminates the entire space within that office structure. They also, when they pick up somebody that they suspect on an ambulance run, they'll take it and decon. They'll set it in the back, turn that UV light on, and it decons the entire inside of the ambulance. So it's just being safe and precautious, and we can turn this in under the bid and not cost the county any money.
Basically, you don't need an approval from us to go ahead and do this. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes, sir, but I'd just like to run it by you.
It's just for information only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Without objection, we'll go ahead and tell Bernard to order them. Okay.
Do they have to sign anything?
I'm sorry?
Do they have to sign this or anything?
No.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
EDU 435 is saying that it disinfects in less than 2 minutes with 1 meter distance. Do you have to keep moving?
No, sir. You don't want to go in that room. At least I haven't gone back in there. When they're
You get out.
yeah. When they do hours downstairs, because we get so much traffic coming in the mayor's office, they do it every Tuesday and every Thursday morning before work hours. And I get me a cup of coffee and just go out there and sit for 25 minutes, and you walk back in. You can smell a little bit of a burnt smell. I don't know what it's burning, but none of the paper is on fire or anything. But I don't think I'd want to be in there if you're getting that smell.
Does it show if there was virus in the room, or it just kills?
It just kills it. I mean, the virus is invisible anyway. We can't see it. But you can tell that it's killed whatever's floating around in there. It might just be dust. I don't know. Sure. Well, but as in dust, I remember when I had my cancer, because I had no immune system after the stem cell, I said that whatever's in dust could also kill you. Plant flora. I had to remove all the plants out of my house when I was quarantined. I couldn't anything because I had zero. Remember the old movie about the boy in the bubble years ago? He had no immune system, and you have to start trying to rebuild that. So hopefully this kills everything. I hope. Yeah, exactly. Anything else to come before us? If you'd like. If nothing, we'll go ahead and stand in adjournment, and if you'd like to hang around for our next meeting.